Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope your day and your week is going well so far. We got a new day, which of course means a new NBA player prop video to share with you guys. We've got day 2 of the NBA play-in tournament. Great games last night. Kind of shocked to see Golden State miss the playoffs. It feels like it's kind of the end of an era. I know they say they're trying to keep the team together, but it kind of feels like Golden State, it's probably the last we're going to see that trio of Curry, Clay, and Draymond. I feel like one of those three has to go, if not multiple of those guys. So really good games, though. That Lakers-Pelicans game was awesome. We got 2 games tonight. We got Sixers-Heat. We got Hawks-Bulls. I don't think as good as the quality of games we had last night, and that just kind of speaks to the quality of the Eastern Conference right now. Be that as it may, though, we do have some picks here. I have a parlay, a 4-leg parlay for the play-in tournament. I don't have any straight bets tonight. Honestly, didn't love a lot what I was seeing. Did find some value, though, in a nice little parlay for us. 4-leg parlay plus 418 odds, little play-in tournament day 2 parlay that I really like. But first, as always, guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, drop a comment down below, all that good stuff. Of course, we are on the road to 100,000 subscribers. We are almost at 70,000, so we're getting closer and closer every day. You can help us get there just a little bit sooner when you hit that subscribe button down below. We got a ton of great content on the channel. We got baseball stuff. I will be back with my MLB videos starting tomorrow officially. I do obviously do my NBA player prop videos. Evan and I are going to be doing some joint videos coming up starting soon. We're going to do at least once a week, if not 2 times a week, where me and him kind of do a video together. Whether we don't really know, it could be different every week. Some week we'll talk about basketball, maybe baseball. We'll see how it goes. We're still planning that all out, but we have a ton of great content here on the channel that you guys did not want to miss. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, drop a comment down below. Real quick recap of last night. I don't have a graphic for last night. We went 1-4 on our straight props. It was not a great day for us yesterday. We had been on a hot streak there going into yesterday, though. We've cashed 3 of our previous 4 parlays before yesterday, so we were up, over 15 units since Friday, April 5th. So we were doing pretty well on the channel, on the show here. But yesterday we are off the mark just a little bit. Our 4-leg parlay, 2 out of 4 legs hit. Curry and De'Aaron Fox just missed the mark in our straight bets. The only one that actually hit was the one that I think people had the most to say about in the comments, was the Sabonis under 21.5 rebounds plus assists. That did cash. He finished with 12 rebounds and 7 assists. So not a great day yesterday, but the vibes are good. We got a beautiful sunny day here in New England. When the weather's like this, 70 degrees, that nice spring weather, no clouds in the sky. The vibes are immaculate. I'm feeling good. I feel like I cooked this up. A nice little winner here for tonight. So let's not waste any more time, guys. Let's dive right into today's parlay. All right, guys, similar to yesterday's video, because we only have 2 games on, we're doing a same game parlay with 3 picks in one game and then 1 pick in another. So that's how we have it organized today. We'll go over to the Outlier screen now, guys. If you know what Outlier is, they're the best sports betting tool on the market. There is a special link in our description below that gives you a 7-day free trial. If you watch my videos, you know they sponsor every one of my player prop videos here on the Guy Boston Sports YouTube channel. And they have so much data, so much information, so much insight. It really is incredible, and there's nothing to lose. You try it for 7 days, you don't like it, you go ahead and do something else. But I'm telling you guys, you will love this tool. One more time, link in the description below, 7-day free trial to try it out for yourself. All right, guys, first leg of our 4-leg parlay here. We're going 3 legs are coming from this Hawks-Bulls game. The total is pretty high here. I think there's a pretty good amount of value in this game. Our first leg, we're going Clint Capella over 10.5 rebounds. This is a heavy alternate line. We're getting at minus 280 on DraftKings. These are all alternate lines. Apologies to those who obviously are not, who don't use DraftKings or, looking for straight bets. This is just a parlay today, so there will be some alternate lines here for today's video. But here we go. Clint Capella over 10.5 rebounds. And you see the data is pretty strong. 7 of his last 10 games he's cashed over, averaging 11.1 rebounds per game over his last 10 games. You stretch that data to his last 20, 65% hit rate, 13 of his last 20 games. Apologies, guys. I'll move my screen over so you guys get a better look here. 13 of his last 20 games, 65% hit rate, averaging 11.4 rebounds per game over his last 20 games. On the 2023 season as a whole, a 56% hit rate, 41 out of 73 games. He's averaging 10.63 rebounds per game. But most importantly here, you look at the head-to-head data. You see in 4 of his last 5 games versus the Bulls, including one of the 2 times they played this year, he has cashed these over an 80% hit rate. And he's averaging 11.2 rebounds per game in his last 5 games versus the Bulls. The last time they played not too long ago, just a couple weeks ago, on April 1st, he had 11 rebounds and an overtime win for the Hawks. Oh, actually, if you guys watched yesterday's video, apologies. For some reason, there's a glitch in Outlier right now where it shows every game went to overtime. So it was not an overtime game. But in that last game where they played, the Hawks won, he had 11 rebounds. And the matchup's okay. I mean, they're not really great at rebound. They're not, it's not a great matchup. They're right now ranked 11th in the NBA in rebounds allowed. So, they're in the top half of the league. They're pretty good defensively in terms of not giving up too many rebounds. They give about 11.6 per game. But again, you see here, it's not like they don't do it at all. You see, the last time they played, he had 11 rebounds. 3 of the last 5 times, you saw he actually had some pretty big rebounding numbers. And that's been the same team. It's not like they haven't changed. And Vucevic was there those matchups. So I do like the spot here for Capella. Couple things to keep in mind here. First and foremost, this is the data that shows Clint Capella this year when Onyeka Okongwu does not play. A 60% hit rate without Okongwu, 15 out of 25 games. He's averaging 11.12 rebounds this season when Okongwu does not play. He is obviously out for tonight. I don't know if anything else would have an impact. I don't know if Jalen Johnson, who's also out. I don't think Jalen Johnson being out would have that much of an impact, but we can go ahead and look. And yeah, it's still a 60% hit rate. The number actually drops a little bit, 10.9, so it doesn't really make that much of a difference. But the Onyeka Okongwu part of it, it makes the numbers a little bit better. But I want to show you guys this data. So the thing here is that this is the 9-10 playing game. So whoever loses this game, I believe they're done. Yeah, that's how it works. Whoever loses this game, they are out. They're eliminated from the playoffs. So this is win or go home. And I think that means that there's no reason to rest these guys, especially with Onyeka Okongwu out. They've got some injuries. Clint Capella is going to play a ton of minutes here. And you see here, this is a range when he plays a minimum of 25 minutes, but a maximum of 37 minutes. Now, that is obviously a large range, but you see a 73% hit rate, 30 out of 41 games, averaging 11.73 rebounds a game. We'll go ahead and narrow this down here. He's going to play at least, I would say, 32 minutes. So when he plays between 25 and 32 minutes a game this year, a 71% hit rate, 25 out of 35 games, 11.51 rebounds per game. So really good data, and we can even narrow this down even more if we go ahead and show what that number looks like when Okongwu is out. And it actually goes up a little bit more, 79%, 11 out of 14 games, 12.07 rebounds per game. So it's a really solid prop here. All right, guys, second leg of our 4-leg parlay, DeMar DeRozan, over 27.5 points. We were getting this for minus 165 on DraftKings here. You see he's cashed in 6 of his last 10 games, averaging 29.6 points per game, including 4 straight. He's had some pretty big games to close out the season for Chicago. In his last 20 games, a 55% hit rate, 11 of his last 20, averaging 27.35 points per game. And although on the year total looks pretty low, only a 30% hit rate, averaging 24 points per game. Like I talked about in yesterday's video, the lines, especially for star players like DeRozan, they're going to be elevated in these games because of a couple of factors. And I talked about it briefly in yesterday's video, but I saw a lot of people commenting on the lines. Why are we betting these guys? The lines are elevated. Number one, the lines are elevated because they're going to play more minutes, especially these play-in games. It's do or die here. If the Bulls lose, their season's over. The Hawks lose, their season's over. They're going to play minutes. As long as they're healthy, they're going to play minutes. DeRozan's going to play a ton of minutes. And also, they have more to play for here, so they're going to try harder. They're going to put more on the line. This isn't a regular season game on a Wednesday in February. This is the play-in tournament game, so they're going to step up. And when it comes to stars like DeRozan, I expect him to do just that. Look at the head-to-head data here. You see 4 of the last 7 times he's faced off with the Atlanta Hawks, his cash is over at a 57% hit rate. He's averaging 27.71 points per game versus Atlanta. The last 2 times they played, the last time on April 1st, he had 31 points. The time before that, on February 12th, he had 29 points. And you see here, even when he misses, it's generally pretty close. The Hawks defensively on the season, they are bottom 10 in the NBA versus the opposing small forwards and versus shooting guards. Slightly better, but still not great there. But versus small forwards, Atlanta struggles here. I think DeRozan, no Jalen Johnson also, so that also plays a big factor. DeRozan, who I know he's a shooting guard, but he does slot some minutes at the 3. Also, obviously, they have Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu, so he plays a lot of minutes at the 3, and even if he plays at the 2, still 27 points per game to opposing shooting guards, 21 points per game to opposing small forwards. It's a solid defensive matchup. Overall, the Atlanta Hawks are bottom 3 in the NBA defensively, giving up 120.5 points per game. So same thing I'll show you guys with the last one here, because obviously the minutes played is going to be a big factor here. We'll go ahead and filter this. He's going to play, I got to imagine, at least 30 minutes, probably more. We'll go 32. If he plays between 32 and we'll say 35 minutes, I feel like that's a pretty decent range. You see the data is not actually that great, which is surprising here. When he plays between 32 and 35 minutes, you see it's low. Let's go ahead and clear that out. Let's go ahead and do this live. Why that is very interesting. On the season, what is his average minutes per game? Oh, so he's averaging 30. He averages 38 minutes a game, so that explains that. Okay, so I'm basing off of some other guys here. So if he averages 38, so then we'll go up there. We'll push it up. We'll say he plays a minimum of 35 minutes. And if you look at the screen here, you'll see as that minute ticker as I go up and down, you see the points drop, obviously. And you see as he goes up, that number goes up. So 35 minutes and 52 minutes, he's averaging the 25.55 points per game. The data does increase slightly on some of these. See his last 10 games where he's played at least 35 minutes, he's scored 29.6 points per game. So with more playing time, obviously, you do see an increase in the data. And, of course, if we keep going up and let's say he plays 40 minutes here, and the data now all of a sudden jumps from how horrible it was, right? It was 30% to 50%, 28.12 points per game when he's playing at least 40 minutes. So that's the trend with all these guys. The more playing time you give them, the more obviously their data is going to increase. All right, guys, our third leg of our 4-leg parlay and our final leg from this game. Make sure to comment 11 down below if you made it this far into the video. As always, thank you very much if you guys are watching this far into the video. Appreciate you guys. This is also the point of the video where I'll tell you the link for the outlier bet will be in the description. I'm sorry yesterday. I don't know what happened. The link didn't update for some reason. And so, guys are clicking on the link early on, and it wasn't working. We did end up fixing it later on, so hopefully we won't have that problem again today. But all you got to do is click that link, and it'll take you right to the outlier screen, and you can just place add to bet slip, and it should take you right to DraftKings, where you can go ahead and place the bet without really any hassle. So it's nice and easy. I try to do that for you guys to make it easy for you guys to bet along and tail. So third and final leg from this game, our third leg overall from our 4-leg parlay. We got DeJounte Murray under 25.5 points. We're getting it for -175 on DraftKings. You see he's cashed in 6 of his last 10 games. Look to his last 20 games, 55% hit rate, 11 of his last 20 games, averaging 25.15 points per game. On the year, though, a 72% hit rate, 56 out of 78 games this year. He has cashed the under. He's averaging 22.47 points per game. Look at the head-to-head hit rate. Each of the last 6 times he's faced off with Chicago, including all 3 times they played this year, he has cashed his under. He's actually scored exactly 17 points in 4 straight games versus Chicago. And it makes sense. They're pretty good defensive in the perimeter. You see versus point guards, they're top 5 defensively. Versus shooting guards, they're about middle of the road. But defensively, they're a pretty good team on the perimeter. And we'll go ahead and put a filter on here because Trae Young is playing, and that is a big factor here. So we'll go ahead and show games with Trae Young. Where is he? There he is. And you see when Trae Young plays this season, a 78% hit rate for DeJounte Murray. He averages 21 points per game when Trae Young is on the court. 39 out of 50 games he's played with Young this year, he has cashed this under. And I thought Jalen Johnson being out might be a problem, but actually it increases. So this, just to show you guys, the filter I put on, this is games played with Trae Young and without Jalen Johnson. You see here 15 times this year he's played with Trae Young without Jalen Johnson. An 80% hit rate, 12 out of those 15 games he's cashed, averaging 20 points per game. The last time they played versus Indiana, he had 32. But you see here overall, and that was a blowout win for the Pacers. When he plays with Trae Young, obviously that number increases. And then also, surprisingly, when Jalen Johnson also doesn't play, his numbers actually look pretty good for this under. So a pretty good spot here for the third leg of our 4-leg parlay. All right, guys, in our fourth and final leg of today's parlay, we're switching over to the Heat-Sixers game, 7 p.m. tip-off here. We're going Tyrese Maxey over 22.5 points. We're getting it for -175 odds. You see here, he's cashed this in 8 of his last 10 games, averaging 27 points per game over his last 10. You go to his last 20 games, an 80% hit rate, 16 of his last 20, averaging 26 points per game. And in 2023 so far, a 67% hit rate, 47 out of 70 games this year. He has cashed the over. He's averaging 25.94 points per game. So pretty solid data there for Tyrese Maxey. Look at the head-to-head. 5 of the last 6 times he's faced off with the Miami Heat, he has cashed his over. Including in 3 straight. You see the last time they played just a couple weeks ago on April 4th, he had 37 points. So he's had some pretty good games versus Miami. The only time in the last 6 games he's failed to cash was in December 25th on Christmas Day. He had just 12 points and was a 6-point loss for the Sixers. Embiid's listed as a game time decision, but I'm pretty sure he's going to play tonight. And you see here the data doesn't look much worse. You see here a 64% hit rate this year when he plays with Joel Embiid. 23 out of 36 games with Embiid to cash the over, averaging 25.64 points per game. So him playing with Embiid actually in some ways helps him. And you see here his misses, they're pretty close, 22, 22, 22, a lot of 22s, 21s. So even when he does miss, it's pretty close. And honestly, for -175, not bad. Pretty solid odds there. for Maxey. Look at defensively, Miami versus shooting guard. They're top half of the team. They're about middle of the road, slightly top half, but they give up about 27 points per game to opposing shooting guards. And versus point guards, about the same story. They're about, top half of the league, but about middle of the road. Overall, they're a solid defensive team, but Maxey's had success. He's cashed it in 3 straight games versus Miami this year. I'm not too concerned here for Maxey. The last filter I'll show you guys is these are games without D'Anthony Melton, who is out. He is the backup point guard. You see here a 68% hit rate without D'Anthony Melton, 23 out of 34 games, 25.76 points per game without D'Anthony Melton. And we'll do the same thing. We'll go ahead and look at the minutes, and we'll go ahead and say he's going to play at least, what's his average on the season? His average is 37.8 minutes per game, so we'll go ahead and say 30. He's going to play at least 30 in this game, I would presume. And you see, when he plays between 30 and 54 minutes, now that is a pretty large range there. We see an 81% hit rate, 22 out of 27 games. As long as he plays at least 25 minutes, you see the data, it looks pretty darn good. And we'll go ahead and narrow it down. Or at least 30 minutes per game, excuse me. If we narrow this down to, let's say he plays between 30 and 40. In that range, that 10-minute range, and you see a 92% hit rate. 12 out of 13 games this year that he's played between 30 and 40 minutes. He has cashed the over, averaging 27.69 points per game. So a really solid spot here for Maxey. All right, guys, and when you parlay those 4 legs together, real quick recap here. And again, this is what you'll see when you click that link for the outlier link. It'll show you right here. And actually, pretty cool for people who use FanDuel. Also, this parlay is also all 4 legs available on FanDuel and on DraftKings. So FanDuel in the playoffs have been stepping up their game. A lot more props available. So you'll be able to bet on FanDuel as well with this parlay. The odds will obviously be slightly different, but still you'll be able to tag along if you're on FanDuel. So one more time, Tyrese Maxey over 22.5 points, DeJounte Murray under 25.5 points, Clint Capella over 10.5 rebounds, and DeMar DeRozan over 27.5 points. When you parlay all 4 of those legs together, you get a parlay of plus 418 odds. For a 4-leg parlay, pretty solid data. You saw they were all alternate lines. I like all the spots, honestly. I don't feel uncomfortable with any of those betting spots. So, guys, that is it for me today. Thank you very much for watching, as always. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, drop a comment down below, all that good stuff. We have no NBA tomorrow. There's a little bit of a break in the action, so we will be back on Friday. Let me just double check that. Okay, yeah, the next round of the play-in games will be on Friday. So no video tomorrow for NBA. We will have an MLB video out tomorrow. But, guys, until Friday, when we're back, we'll have our Freaky Friday parlay for the play-in tournament. Now, we'll see if we're going to do 5 legs. It's a little bit tricky when you only have 2 games, but we'll see. We're going to do a parlay again on Friday, regardless, our Freaky Friday parlay. So, guys, until Friday, I hope we're all winners. Have a good one.